More or Nothing.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of More or Nothing with Ryan and Max. For those of you watching this on YouTube, you will notice that we are far closer to you and we're doing this for you so that you get more of us all of the time. More or Nothing, more Ryan, more Max, more us in your living rooms. So there we go. Try something new.
Mark should be in the middle, shouldn't he? Mark should be in the middle. Come really close, Mark.
Should I?
It's really HD as well. I do like it.
Okay, cool.
I wonder. I'm sort of the middle. I'm the fluffer between the two of you now. It sort of feels...
you know why I know Max doesn't like it? Because if he's wearing a vest, you don't get any of the shoulders in. Whereas this helps me. This doesn't help Max. It doesn't show enough body for Max. Mark's just done a 20k bike ride on an electric bike, which is, mate, that's great. Listen, any exercise, that's like rich exercise, isn't it, Max? That's like a rich man exercise. I'm going to take
the exercise, but you could have machines that do it for you.
I'm going to take the old Lecky bike for a little spin round the bay down in Singapore.
I just can't even. Everybody who knows us knows they're just this complete and utter lie. But anyway, fine. Thank you.
Do you know what? What would be one worse? And I can see Mark doing it. Is right, kids. We're going for a bike ride, and they've got someone on like a little tuk-tuk, and he's just sat in the back, and he's just throwing cash at the man who's just cycling around Singapore, and he still says, "Gosh, it's really fucking hot, isn't it?"
Yeah, you need to get my Strava numbers up. Go faster. Just more berries down the front. Wait, Mark, how humid was it? Was it toasty, warm?
It was. Look, without sounding too facetious, the fact is, it's because it's right by the sea. You get the breeze from the sea, so it's warm, but it's super nice. And you go through the marina, so the amazing yachts and everything, and then you're around the bay, and then to the beach, to Tanjong Beach. Which, by the way, is amazing. They're doing open air cinema for 2 weeks, and we went and watched a movie, Lou and I, and it's sponsored by Hendrix. So you were like there.
You trying to plug it?
Hendrix. Yeah, give us some cash now.
What do you watch?
So yeah, it's amazing. That new Andrew Garfield with Florence Pugh movie, and Lou and I, it's really good, but it's kind of just a really cryy, cancery movie, and you're like, kind of just wanted Jerry Maguire.
Celebrating love with grief. That's lovely. Yeah.
Can I just say something? Someone listened to the podcast the other day that I know, and they were like, "Are you like? Do you guys get on with Mark?" And I was like, "What do you mean?"
Oh God.
Yeah, and I was like, "What do you mean?" No, it's just like you're constantly going at him. But that's the dynamic of the group. So I'm sorry if we do. I'm sorry if we do too much, but I do love it. I do love it.
As long as I'm involved.
Well, listen, we've not done it in the first 2 minutes, so we might as well do it. Load into the comments. Do you like this new format? Do you like us close up and personal? Do you like us close and personal, Max Lahiff?
It's quite intimate, isn't it? It's a little bit. I think so. I'm not sure.
I think I quite like it. But let us know what you think, because we'll go back. We'll do what you want. We'll do a little poll. We'll get someone to count up for or against. That's what we'll do. We'll get someone to count it up, and then we'll go with whatever the viewers want.
Oh yeah, Boaty McBoatface. We'll do it. Whatever the population is looking for, we will deliver that for you. Boys, how was your week? I mean, do we want to start with Ryan, get his little bit over and done with, because he's been playing non-stop golf, so sort of done?
Well, that's not just all I've done. I've obviously been working at the games, and I've been across to Dublin. But no, we haven't spoken since I had the golf buggy crash.
Yeah, you didn't even tell us about that.
Yeah.
Well, we'll clip a picture into it. So if you are listening, jump over to YouTube so you can go and look at the picture, because it is hilarious. But we played in the Glasgow Warriors Golf Day at the Carrick, and I was with Ben Afshar, one of the young nines at Glasgow. And you have to drop Max. So when you do these sort of scrambles, it's like everyone starts on a hole. So you've got to make your way out to the 16th hole. So we're in a golf buggy driving to the 16th. We're going up the 18th. And as we're driving up the 18th, I'm texting away on my phone, trying to sort stuff out. Benny Afshar's driving. Next thing, I am on the floor rolling along thinking, what have I done to my shoulder? Like, look at that, all the scratches all over me. Mate, he's crashed into a bunker. But I mean, not just dropped in there at full pelt. Because we're going the wrong way up the fairway, you can't see it, so we've taken off.
And there's a crash in the hurt. Got you. And it was just...
I'm talking airtime, and it looks like we've reversed in. So if we're clipping the picture in, you can see it looks like we've reversed into the bunker. We haven't. We've cleared the bunker and hit the other side with so much force. His head's hit the windscreen. The windscreen's bust off. I've smashed in the thing. I've rolled off. I only realised yesterday all my golf bags all snapped and bent. His things are all snapped off his golf bag. The seats come off, and he's gone into like panic mode. You know, like it's like fight or flight. I'm rolling along the floor, lying on my front, but laughing uncontrollably, in pain, but laughing. He thought, he's like, Wilson's not good. Wilson, you're right. And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine, laughing. But he's like, put it all back together. And mate, we're right outside the clubhouse on the 18th fairway. So we're trying to lift this buggy out of the thing, trying to get off, put it all back together and just driven off, you know, like embarrassed, like all bits hanging off of it. Oh my God, honestly, it was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. He's gone like that. We've got to the first tee, 2 fans from Glasgow Warriors. They're like, oh, boys, you're late for the tee off. We're like, oh, fucking are we? Ben's got blood coming down his head. Oh, it was unbelievable. So, yeah. And do you know what I actually said is I'm quite happy because I reckon people could play golf for 50 years, right? And never be involved in a serious golf buggy crash. Whereas I've ticked that box.
That's a serious crash.
Yeah. I've ticked that box. So I'm pretty proud of that. And then yesterday, and I'm shamelessly plug Scrum to Scratch because it's part of it. People will enjoy it. We did a round with Hugh Jones. That went live last week. So go over there, jump over to Scrum to Scratch. And we did if you haven't watched it, boys, go and watch it. It's good fun, actually. So me and Shuggy chat all things Lions, celebrations, etc. And that's over there. And then yesterday, I played 3 rounds of golf in one day to get my handicap, which you've got to do 3 rounds minimum max to get a handicap. Usually people would spread that out over a week. I had to do it in a weird way, didn't I? Did it in one day. Back's off the fucking bone today, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, so yeah, you're right. Actually, all it has been is golf. I'm a golf
golfy, mate.
I'm a golf wanker.
But Max, you had a massive day out in Cardiff
on the piss.
Yeah, it was cool. Very cool, lads. Never played at the Principality. Never. I don't think I've ever been inside it up until then, and it was amazing. Amazing. Roof was on. Bristol Faithful turned up. Bath Faithful turned up. Like the whole town was bumping. Cardiff was packed from like 9 onwards, man. It was crazy. We turned up the night before. We went to like the Parkside Hotel. Is that it? Parkside Hotel? Can't remember what it's called.
Park Lane. Has it got the underground?
Right by the stadium. Yeah, like right next to it. Yeah, lovely. Yeah, Nando's with the boys at the Brewers Quarter.
Oh, yeah, we now know that that's what you do.
Speaking to Harry Byrne about all sorts of conspiracy theories. It was wild. Really, really fun talk. We got into the nitty-gritty. It made us slightly existential, so we stopped there and enjoyed our boneless platters, medium to spicy vibes. I do like the wrap, though, with the pineapple and halloumi. But anyway.
Chicken livers as well.
Yeah, the chicken livers were flying around. Yeah, weird. Yeah, you're a big fan of those, are you? Yeah, you do like them. Yeah.
I love them. Mark's more chicken feet.
Yeah, I am. I actually am. Can't eat liver apart from fugger, but can eat.
You're doing it to yourself.
I'm doing myself. It literally came out, and I'm like, "You're such
very
a
good.
Prick. Shut
very
up."
good.
Right. Anyway, keep going, Max.
Yeah, and then mate, game was good. I mean, Bath put out a weaker team, but it was good fun. Maybe 4 yellow cards. Wild. Bill Matter was running around disassembling people. It was mental. Oh, horrible.
But yeah, he took the hit. He took the hit well, though. It was Ciaran Donoghue, right?
He got straight back up. Bloke's made of plasticine still, so he's all good. He played very well. He finished off a good try, actually. It was a good game. 5 points. Got it done. We're back in the hunt. Destiny in our own hands, gentlemen. Now we have sail away on Friday. Post game, had a look around into it.
By the way, I love how quickly we just like genuinely people will tune in and go, I'm going to get a real good insight on that
So-
Bath Bristol
Yeah,
game.
Bath,
And Max
what do you want?
goes, yeah, really good. Bill hit some people. Anyway, after the game. But, mate, I'm for it. I'm not saying I'm against it. I'm for
Okay,
it.
no, who else had a good?
No. We'll go back to it. Let's go back because I want you to carry on as you were.
Okay, so we're into it. Post game, I'm having a look about what's it called? Brewhouse first up with the lady and the friends. Then had a quick detour. Saw my mother and father. They were like out of place in the Sarlacc pit of degeneracy, which is Cardiff City Centre. After a game, man, it's mental. It's like a festival. It's like a strip on a Spanish island. Wild. So that was interesting. And then we headed to Peppermint and reunited with the gents.
Peppermint, very good spot.
Yeah, nice.
Outdoor area on the corner. I like it.
Yeah, lovely.
Things get a bit weird if you go one level up in that little bar up the top.
Oh yeah, you can get up there, have a look around. But I had a scope. Then ended it early. Actually, didn't tear the tits off it completely. Went home because it's a short turnaround. Sail away. But yeah, all in all, very good weekend. Celebrating a great game. Oh, I saw Alfie Barbary. He was telling me, he gave me more information about that night, Wills.
Whoa, that night.
Apparently you own like 4 or 5 grand.
I mean, really?
No, you don't owe him, but he blames you for spending.
Yeah. That's different.
Yeah, okay. So the cash I gave him the next morning to sort of find his way home, that can be written off. That's fine.
He was in
The
great
20
shape.
quid you got him for, it was like 50 quid for
50.
like a croissant and somehow to get back to Bristol, bruv.
We'll debrief off air on that, but
yeah, he was in great form. Saw him. He wasn't even playing, but he was out. He was very good crack. Then headed home.
I've got a couple of questions to ask, Max.
Hit me.
It was obviously built up so nicely, and the fact that you took it to Cardiff, awesome. Like, I love it, and I know it helped Bristol because you
big
boys,
attendance as well.
Yeah, exactly, big attendance, and you boys needed a big win. But after all that, and like, if you're a Bath fan, to then not put out the full team, it's just, there's a lot of chat around this at the moment because the same in the URC. There's a lot of people going, oh well, you know, there shouldn't be these massive scores towards the end of the season. But it's just the nature of the game, I suppose. But it was a bit frustrating because I did see Finn at like a luxury retreat, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure they're meant to be playing a massive game in Cardiff this weekend. So, do you know what I mean? It takes the gloss of it a tiny bit.
No, agreed, it does. But Bath have done the business all year, so they've earned the right to do things like that, and fair enough to them. If Johan wants to rest the boys for the big Europe clash, I imagine he'll go full straight for this weekend and for the next. So maybe he just wanted to rest them 1 week, and he has that luxury. So fair play to them.
Let's talk about the 10 that stepped in. What was his name? The young 10 that stepped in?
Ciaran Donoghue. So he's been tearing trees up all season when he's featured. It's only his second Prem game, but he's featured on all their sort of Premier Cup games.
He looks pretty good.
Mate, rapid, has an eye for it, backs himself. Really good player, man. Yeah, he's looking promising. And then obviously there's the dual nationality. I believe he's Irish and English. So there'll be people clamouring for his international potential, I imagine. So it'd be interesting to see how his career progresses.
I've heard he's Scottish as well.
You just putting that in there, aren't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, his head coach at Bath, Leah Blackett, is going out to join the England squad as a tack coach this summer. You wonder if it's that chance where you'll be like, get him capped.
Yeah,
you know, it seems cynical, but if he's that, he looked, I mean, to be fair, it takes something to go on a big stage, get absolutely ended by Bill Mata, and then still be able to play quite well. Yeah,
because obviously with Finn and Marcus away, it'll be interesting to see who takes up that sort of 10 spot. I mean, I imagine George Ford will be going. Yeah, like who's going? Who's going to be backing up that? Who's going to be in that sort of that 10 room? So, yeah, that's a worthy man to speculate about, I think.
What about that shot from Big Bill? Oh, 18 under. Like, absolutely belted him. But you're right, Mark. He wore it well, didn't he? Some of them, though. Isn't it weird, Matt? He lines him up so well. But do you know when you there's sometimes when you get them, they look huge, but they don't hurt at all.
Yeah, when he's just turning out the bat. Yeah, you sort of take out the force of it, I suppose. But maybe you see Slady on the comments in the social media. Like, I've seen this before. I've seen this before.
Good.
It's like that play.
Does Bill do that? Does he do that in training? I mean, obviously you don't
No.
do it in training, but
no, Bill
does he not do it remotely in like anything?
Not even a little bit. Doesn't even carry hard in training. He's like Barney the dinosaur in training, and then he's a Tyrannosaurus Rex in Jurassic Park in the games. Yeah,
but he shifts as well. He looks, once he gets going, he looks pretty fast.
Bloke is huge, and he has the most mental engine. I think that's from his sort of sevens days. He's a phenomenal athlete for how big he is. Like the sort of reps he can get out, like his work rate. He's an animal. He's on fire as well. He's doing some huge shots at the moment. He had another one in the game as well.
Is the vibe good in camp?
Yeah, I think so. Like, obviously, 4 yellow cards. Got to rectify that discipline issue. I was one of them. Oopsies.
Was it harsh? Yours felt harsh, right?
It wasn't so harsh. In like sort of in hindsight, I was halfway up the rucks on these sort of pick and go defenses, and Luke was like offside, 3 offside, 3 offside, and I just wasn't in it. I'm in the blender, so I'm just so tired. We scrambled back. We're defending them off our line. But yeah, that's probably number one. If you go down to 13 men against Sale at AJ Bell, yeah, it's going to be slightly difficult. So that'd be one thing. But yeah, I feel like there's been a sort of spiritual rally, if you like, you know. So I'm expecting a decent showing against Sale. It should be very good. Looking forward to it. It'll be tough.
It keeps it so interesting, doesn't it? Because you boys are, well, I'm just looking now, you're third, 52 points, Sal on 49, Sarri's on 49. Oh, it's all...
They're in control, but they're in control.
Yeah, well, you are. You're in control of your own destiny.
Indeed.
Ryan, have you seen... so, Max, you had quite a couple of big carries, but I've seen you do a lot of pick and goes, but here you're actually quite shifty as well yourself when you're up and running. Do you how does that stack up actually your times in like training for short bursts?
Yeah, I'm up there, especially for like the type 5. I do all right. Yeah, I can move when I have to. Just most of the time I'm absolutely winded. I'm missing lungs, right, Mark? Like, it's tough out there. Fast switch life is not the one. You're just always gassed in rugby. I swear the sport's just getting harder. Like, they get the ball in play. The athletes are they move much better. Like, I genuinely feel as if, like, just especially like positions you used to look at and be like, oh, I could run at him. I could have a go at him. They're sort of disappearing. They just move so much better. They're just a more sort of physically intelligent athlete. It just makes it so much more difficult. And like the numbers that S&C coaches are trying to get out of players and what's expected, most guys now are so like fit and shifty. Like they have to be. Otherwise, or they have to be such incredible towers of set piece technicalities that they're sort of singular players, if you like. They sort of drive a team in that way, but they're becoming further and further in between. You know?
And that's why we're seeing more and more locks that play 6.
Exactly,
you know? And they can go and sit out on the wide edges because they're more athletic. Or you're seeing, you know, we chatted with Hutch a few weeks ago about Freeman, and he's talking about the specimen that he is in the gym. If you wanted to, and you put him in the back row and give him a year in the back row, he could play in the back row.
Wouldn't look out of place.
Stafford McDowell, Glasgow Warriors, jumped in the line out at 12, but could play in the back row if needed to, you know? So, yeah, everyone's morphing into sort of one player. I don't know. Is it good for the game?
Is there less? Yeah, but is there less? Exactly.
Well, but then again, who was the prop that we spoke about for the Bulls, Max, that got man of the match?
Hendrik.
No, what's his name? Yeah, the guy who played lock for Grey Bloom.
You know, and you look at hookers now. All hookers pretty much have been in the back row, or it's the other way around. They were back rows that went to hooker. Like it just even the front rowers, except for your tight heads. There's like an exception that
some of them are, but yeah, like Tyke Furlong on the way up, animal. But yeah, I know what you mean. Absolutely. But Asher for Jaw, he's also a freak. So,
and I guess that's NRL is that, isn't it? NRL is just all the same sort of looking athlete. We've still got smaller wingers and stuff, but yeah, it's becoming more and more like that. But anyway, we could go on about that for fucking ages, couldn't we?
Jan Hendrik, was that Jan Hendrik Vessels? Was that who?
Yeah, Jan Hendrik Vessels. That's the one.
Vessels.
He's exciting. Like, a very exciting prospect. Although he's already capped, so not so much.
So, quick one around with Leicester, great result at home to Sale, but also the announcement that Geoff Parling will become their head coach next season. What do we think about that?
Yeah, he's done the rounds. I think he's the right man for the job. He's been there. He's done that. He knows the Leicester DNA, the fabric of the club. Been coaching for ages as well, all around the world. So, like, man, I think he's exactly the right guy. I think he's going to have some great ideas. I heard he's like really, really intelligent man. So, should be fascinating.
I'm all for it. For a club like Leicester, it's a very traditional club, isn't it? I think someone that's been there and done it and has worn the jersey, I think it's a good shout. And what was the crack around the announcement? Because I did see a thing on social media of just like smoke coming out the top of the stadium. But then I think I got bored, like ADHD clicked in. And I was like, well, nothing's happening. What's going on here?
It was vibes of the Pope, wasn't it?
Yeah, so Vatican,
It's the Vatican.
There we go.
Yeah, for the game.
Smoke from the chimney.
Sorry. So there was just smoke bellowing out, but that was it. What else happened?
And then the announcement that the new coach, Geoff Parling.
I didn't make it past like 3-second retention. If it doesn't get me by.
So what was your first thought? Oh gosh, the gantry's burning down.
I thought
that's a shame.
This is clickbait. They're basically saying, "Oh look, there's a fire," and you'll be like, "Oh, what's happened? There's a fire." I thought they were trying to keep people to watch it because there was a fire at the stadium. That's what I thought.
It's coming, yeah. It's coming.
But anyway, great. One less club that Glasgow Warriors need to worry about for Franco Smith heading to, and also Pat Lam heading away to. So, because that was all the chat. There was a lot of chat around Franco Smith being touted to go down there and go to Leicester. They were throwing cash around. But I think, Geoff Parling, it's good for the club. Good for the club.
Fair play. And then in terms of just quickly rounding up the other big results, Saracens with a massive win at Newcastle, kind of expected, but that keeps them, there on your tails, on Sale and Bristol's tails, just behind, while Quins getting themselves a good win at Gloucester and Exeter finally beating somebody. Sounds very harsh coming back from that rollicking and beating Northampton.
Yeah, but again, it was way off of a full Northampton squad. So I don't think it counts. I don't think it really counts. You got people like messaging in there saying, "Oh, look at this, awesome to see. Yeah, great to see Exeter bounce back." And you're like, "Yeah, but it's sort of not." 6 debutants I'm hearing through the chatter in here. I mean, it's not really anything to go by, is it? You've just beaten a backup team. Agreed?
5 points is 5 points, but yeah, where they are in the table, it's not incredibly.
Does it make a difference, Max? From your perspective, you kind of had a similar weekend that you've taken on certainly not Bath's strongest side. You've got everything you needed, and it was important you got that. Is there any gloss off? Or do you take it? Will Exeter be like, don't care, got the win?
No gloss off for us. We're still,
yeah. For them, it meant a lot.
We needed it. Yeah, we needed it bad. So, happy with that, 100%.
But yeah, there's for Exeter, I don't think you get anything out of it. They might say, "Oh, this is it. We've turned the corner." They'll be sat there Monday morning. But who have Exeter got this week? They've got Quins away. So let's see. Let's wait and see.
Quick one on Gloucester having their obviously playoff hopes dented with that loss to Quins. 3 points below Sarries in 6th now. But they do have Newcastle and Northampton left to play. So there's probably, you know, their run-in is potentially one of the easier ones without sounding harsh.
Yeah, I think that's all you need to say on that.
Fair play. Oh, great insight, guys.
Well,
I'm just the guy in the middle. I'm just like serving up the fun.
They're a little bit. I thought they would have finished. They're just a bit up and down. It'll be interesting to see. I think potentially they'll probably struggle to get in. No, I just think Saracens can finish.
Well, hold on, but if you beat Sale, that leaves Sale on 49 points, and they win with a bonus point this weekend. They go to 51, so they then go above Sale. And then it's down to their last game against Northampton, and Sale then have Exeter. Sarries have Bath towards the end of the season. I don't know. I think there's still hope for them. I think there's still hope. If you look at the table and look at what they could do, if they get 10 points, they're giving themselves a chance. Like that's it. And I think you would back them to go and do back-to-back 5 points if there's something in it for them and absolutely nothing in it for the other two teams. So my dark horses are still in the race, boys. My dark horses are still in the race. Give them a chance.
It's coming. It's really culminating nicely though.
Oh
Max.
God, yeah, you're right. There's actually, they have got a fighting chance. Good God, it's congested other than that one.
No, but we need you to help them out because basically you beat Sale this weekend. A lot is riding on this game. No, I mean not meaning to put the pressure on it anymore, but a lot is riding on this weekend.
It's a huge win for Leicester as well. I thought they would dust in that first half. I was like, yep, George Ford in cruise control. That Sale pack was on top. And then Leicester just with the gumption, with the grit, just clawed their way back in. Andre Pollard just getting it done for the boys.
See poor old Tom Curry getting...
Yeah, I did see that, yeah.
Well, and this is it. We'll get onto this chat really quickly, but you know what it's like, Max. If you go into a game sort of thinking, I really don't want to get injured here, going a little bit half-assed, half-hearted tackles, you get injured. And I'm not saying he didn't.
Yeah, there's not a million years did Tom Curry go in half-hearted. He played on for an extra 10 minutes with like a ripped hand.
That guy's a lunatic, mate.
The point I'm trying to prove is I'm watching games now. Like Shuggy was back, Hugh Jones was back for Glasgow at the weekend, and I'm watching it going, just be careful. Just be careful. I worry about players. On average, 7 players get called up throughout the Lions tours. 7 extra players get pulled in for injury cover.
That's so much. That is so much.
It's a great stat.
Yeah.
It's a great stat, Ryan.
Surprising stat from Ryan being great, but it's great.
Well, might have made it up.
Not surprising then.
I haven't made it up, but that's what happens. So, you look at these last couple games for the Prem. Obviously, there's the last round of the URC this weekend, and you do look at the players going, "Oh Jesus!" Like just get through these games, and there can be that mentality. If I selfishly knew there was nothing left to play for, I would be fucking pretending to pull out me because imagine you get injured in a nothing game going into the Lions tour and you don't make it on the plane.
Horrible.
If I was a coach, and let's say, for example, Northampton, nothing to play for in the Prem, and let's say they didn't have Champions Cup, I would just say to the boys, take it off, boys. You're resting. You're not playing until you go on the Lions tour. I'll just let them get to the Lions tour.
Oh, that's very compassionate of you. Yeah, but what if their job's on the line?
Yeah.
Okay, there's a slightly different. Okay, let me look at this then. Okay, let's say Gloucester lose next week. Is Thomas Williams
playing the final game? No.
In the final game? No, you're saying, mate, get your feet up, rest up. You know, if he gets put out there and then gets injured, that would be on big old Skivo. So, nah.
You do watch it though now, don't you? Like, well, it must be for you because you've got quite a lot of your, of your buddies and Max as well, where you're like, oh, just don't.
Yeah.
Don't go in
Anyone
there.
that goes down, you're like, oh, is he a line? Is he? No. Okay, that's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, there is a bit of that. You're right. There's like a bit of scrutiny over those boys. Yeah.
And like, I think even if I was on the other team, I would then be like, oh, be careful of him. Don't. Careful. But anyway, you can't go into rugby games like that, so you will get injured. Are we any more Prems? We got any more Prems you want to talk about? Because I think we've rounded up the Prem quite nicely.
No, I think we've done that quite
A lot
nicely.
can happen. You're going to be all right, Max. Just go and win those last 2 games so we can watch you in the Prem final.
That's it. That's it. We
Easy
just need Max just to keep winning. And Max, you know, I've run some numbers and looked at some stats the way Wilson has. If you win all of the remaining games and the semi-final and the final, you will be champions. So it's that simple.
Profound.
That's the stat. There are 4 games. You win 4 out of 4.
That's Michael Owen vibes. I'm down.
Easy.
4 more tries than them.
Score more tries every time. No, you try to do that anyway.
And so it's that time again where we thank our day one sponsor, our most loyal sponsor, who perpetuates our senseless ramblings about the great game of tip and tap, the egg-chasing game of wrestle. So if you would like something rather delicious, deep, tasty, complex, head over to wolfcraig.com and grab yourself a little something using our QR code.
Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, that is a shout for a sponsor.
Right,
Mark, you go through the comments quite a bit. Have you got any good, funny comments from last week? Have you got any that you remember from last week? Don't worry if you haven't.
I know, but there were a few. There were a few. A lot of people. Well, there's the classic. Wilson always has to go have a go at Leinster. Yes, here we go. Max's forehead vein is like when Noah split the water in reverse, and then somebody's come in and gone, "You meant Moses." It's just we know what you meant, but it's nice.
Yeah, but that's so good. Whoever is in there reading those comments and then replying to them, I love it. I actually love it.
He's taking the time away today. She's not quite as profound as normal, is he? He's not there.
So yeah, that is
early in the morning
though. That was a good one. And what the hell's going on with Max? There's a lot about you being sunburned. I can't take Max seriously. Dominic Cudmore saying, why does Max Lahiff look like a beetroot? Tony McGold was gutted for Max, actually, for your call up. That was that was nice. And actually quite a lot of people agreeing around some of our bigger calls with you're wondering jobs for the boys and that sort of thing. There were people agreeing with you, Ryan, which obviously all the response from Maul or Nothing is, please don't agree with Ryan Wilson. Please don't agree with Ryan Wilson. Please don't agree with Ryan Wilson. And then that's it. But
yeah, Max, if you taken your stash into to Bristol, do you remember when we gave you that Lions bag at the Christmas special in the Chinese restaurant with Nico Matawalu, at zero reference to British and Irish Lions? Have you used it at all?
I wear the vest sometimes, yeah, and I use that bag actually to go fetch my raw milk when I go make a trip to the milk bot down at Greenacre Farm, old Green Farm Dairy, yeah.
What? And so we've given you a British and Irish Lions bag that just gets filled with raw milk.
Yeah,
I think you should take it in this week. I think you should take it in this week. Try and get a little clip of a social, so when boys come in, they're like, "Whose fucking bag is that?"
Yeah.
Oh, have you not heard? There was a lot of chat around because we were perhaps saying that Kelleher as not the starting hooker for Leinster and not the starting hooker for Ireland. Should he have gone over Jamie George? There's a lot of people saying, well, look, he's gone and done it. He did help Ireland beat South Africa in that tour. You know, he's really good. He's also really good.
But our point was more, there's Theo Dan, Dowie Lake, and Jamie George as well that should have probably had a look in. And I don't know, I just can't help but think maybe Theo Dan or Dowie Lake were in for more of a shout.
So also, right, there's 2 spots up for grabs, aren't there?
Yeah, so before we go to URC, Mark, are we going to go through all this sort of Lions chatter?
Yeah, let's do that, because as Max just mentioned, there are 2 spots that have been left open for specific players to prove their fitness. Straight up, who do you think it is?
If one's a winger, isn't it?
Do you think
Yeah, and someone wrote in the thing, Feyi-Waboso, and I said that last week, but before him, surely Darcy Graham, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Max?
Depends what. They're very different wingers, though, aren't they?
They are, but you've got almost a powerhouse in James Lowe and Duhan van der Merwe. You haven't got your Cheslin Colby, your Aaron's that's just going to fucking...
But why wouldn't he have picked Darcy already then?
I don't know, do I? But
yeah, I feel like.
Nah, I'm going Darcy Graham. Darcy Graham for me, definitely. Max, who are you going for?
I feel like he's waiting on Feyi-Waboso to get fit.
Fuck, really?
That's what I suspect. I don't know. There's a serious gravitas to him right now, isn't there? Like the minute he's fit, he has to be in the England team, for example. Maybe there's something we don't see. I don't know about, but yeah, it feels as if there's serious need for him.
Yeah, because you've seen some chat about the power, like Lions going for power, but you need a little.
You need a finesse. You need some jinky. Yeah, I agree. Some razzle. But
okay, so there's our thoughts on wingers. My other one, it's more because I've been persuaded by comments that I've seen, but everyone's saying Owen Farrell. Everyone is thinking it's being left open for his foot to swim.
That's what I've seen as well. So it's like those two.
But what could win-win, right?
Yeah, what could sort of shoehorn Owen Farrell in though?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what needs to change for him to get in. Is it just like form, some more performances? I don't know.
Yeah, but and I know he went off injured last week, but I don't know. For me, still like you know who I'm going for, Tom Jordan. I just can't get me around why I would go Tom Jordan Farrell.
We love Tom Jordan, but one of the comments from DFern84, I don't even need to watch. Wilson will be crying about Tom Jordan. What's he done at international level to deserve it? He's not better than Russell or Jones or Sione. It doesn't start if for Scotland are a full team, so why does he deserve to go? Wilson's buddy is all. Our answer was surely that's enough to get a call up. And he went, I don't think anyone should be rewarded for being his pal.
Well, Matt Hansen was.
Yeah, but he's Andy Farrell's pal.
Yeah,
who happens to be the coach of the Lions.
Yeah, okay.
I still think Tom Willis should go.
Tom Willis, yeah.
I think if you just look at him on a stats basis, he's a freak. But
yeah,
I don't know. I just think they could do with another specialist day, like a specialist ball carrier for the grit, for the grunt.
Yeah, I'm with you. Okay, before we get on to, so we're happy. We're going to go Feyi-Waboso for Max, Darcy Graham for me, Tom Jordan. Even though what's his name? Who's the bloke that's getting all upset?
DFern84.
DFern84. Tom Jordan. You can't do that, but you can do that.
Thank you for commenting
in HD. It's even in HD.
Thank you for commenting that.
Thank you so much for commenting and driving the algorithm. But genuinely, thank you. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. And then we've got... we're both on Willis. We're both on Jac Willis, right? So now we're going to move on to chatting about the residency stuff, okay? But before that, Max, what did you think it's some of the things where people are filming themselves? Because we saw Schmog do it, saw like Schooner do it.
What did you think of those? Oh, no.
Yeah, so a lot of people watching the announcement, if they're at the club, love it. Like Hugh Jones at the club, Sion at the club, everyone's celebrating with it.
The Northampton boys.
Northampton boys with Pollock, like beautiful, genuinely beautiful. But then people at home have set up their own cameras with their missuses. Listen, Schmog did it. So, but what I want to know is, what do you think of it firstly?
What do I think of it personally?
Yeah.
I don't want.
I don't want to.
Okay, just a bit weird.
No, but it's also it is a moment in time that
will
probably be immortalized. Like
it
is.
So who tells them to do it? Do you reckon the clubs tell them to do it? Because Chesham did it with his mum and his brother, and I thought that was quite nice as well. They are nice.
But no,
There are
hang
nice
on.
ones, but
He
some of
doesn't
them-
hug his mum the whole time. I'm like, hug your mum, hug your mum.
Because he knows the camera's there, and he's not going to play up to the camera. I sort of respect that.
I know, but the mum the whole time, I was like, just give her a
So, but
hug.
do you know what I'm asking for? I want to see the ones that who put their camera up.
No, you're such a cock.
You're
such
awful.
a dick.
Why do you have to be such a cynic?
I don't know. I think I'm broken. I
That
want to
would
see.
be
I want to see
so
a
good.
montage of all the people that it just goes past their letter in the alphabet, and then be like, right, turn the fucking camera off.
The bloopers.
Okay, I know you're not going to answer this, but I'm going to ask you the question: if there was one person that you think had done that and then it didn't get to, who would it be? That's such a bad question. Horrible person. But can you imagine it? You've got that. Just sort of, do you delete it off your iPhone?
Did you?
Yeah, no, you don't keep that one. That's not one you save. No.
So that's in the old deleted section.
Yeah, that's up there with like your first rejection from a woman, sort of that.
Oh yeah, no one wants that on camera.
Yeah, you don't need that.
Can you imagine a bloopers reel of not? Oh, that is.
Is there you? Okay, is there you in 2017, Ryan, being like, it's a W, so I'm right. I'm just waiting. Maybe, just maybe.
There's a few though, and now like looking back at it, we asked the questions to a lot of boys like Sione and Hugh, like where will you watch it? I've seen boys going to the car park and sit in their cars, etc. But the place to be is in with the boys. The place to be is in with the boys. And but yeah, let us know. Let us know who you think could have potentially had that set up, and who'd you like to see the bloopers reel? Or is the bloopers reel a terrible idea?
I would have liked to have been in the position where I could put myself in a situation to have a bloopers reel. You know, where I actually thought it could happen. You know?
Oh, we have missed a trick there. That could have been a great social media piece. You could have had one lined up, and then as it goes past L, just like throwing shit around the house. I'm done.
No, with all the rest of the boys at Bristol. Just throwing his fucking chair up in the air, being like, "The fuck is this?"
No one did that actually.
Yeah, I'm surprised as well. Right, so we're going on to the residency stuff because this is a touchy subject, isn't it?
Yeah,
we're really getting through the hard stuff now.
I know. You've self-made as well.
What do we think? Look, it's obviously a bit of a meaty talking point. Should the Lions be open to residency internationals? Bearing in mind, we have some examples of players who have quite literally played against the Lions for their home country. James Lowe, I believe. Where are our thoughts on that?
So the angle's like sort of state of origin vibes, isn't it? Is that it? The problem is it's already at a national level where players can do this. So it's 5 years now? I understand like how it's sort of there's a wholesome sacredness to the Lions shirt, but I think the cat's out of the bag anyway. So we've been doing it for a while now. So if you wanted to start it like that, it had to begin that way. You know what I mean?
Well, that's it. And putting on a national jersey is as prestigious. It still is. It's still your country, and you're putting that jersey on for your country. But you're right, the cat's out the bag. So you can't have people that are okay with it happening for a country and then start going, oh, but this is the British and Irish Lions. This is a step up, because you're still letting them do it for your country. And I've got some good friends that have done it, and I've always stuck to it. I don't think the residency, especially when it was only down to 3 years, I completely disagreed with it. And it's always a weird one for me because people hear me speak and go, he's not even Scottish. But I have Scottish blood. I genuinely believe I'm Scottish. And people can't get their head around it. But I also see the fact that if you're in a certain country for long enough, like even with my kids, all fully, like they will say they're Scottish, they're from Glasgow, they've got Glaswegian accents. So there is a case with the residency thing that I think at least 5 years is okay. But it's always been a struggle for me to wrap my head around the fact that you can, I always said you should be born, or blood is where I think it should have stood for country. And so that's where I was, and I probably still am that way. But again, like, you know, I've seen Sione's name get thrown around, but his nan is from Greenwich, Scottish blood. And I know that he speaks with an Australian accent. So that I've always said I'm with it. If it's blood or born in that country, I'm fine. Residency's still got that little bit for me, which I think, it's not quite right. I don't think I'm okay with it. But the cat's out the bag. You've let it happen at a national level for your country. I'm afraid now with British and Irish Lions. But you do look back, right? Let's say go back 20, 30 years for the Lions. You imagine those blokes back then going over to play against, you know, New Zealand and stuff, and how prestigious it was. And then to be like, what, you're going to let Kiwis that aren't even from the British Isles play for us? It does devalue it a wee bit, I think. So it's a hard one, isn't it? You're right, Max. You've just sort of let it happen now, and that's it. You can't go.
It's too difficult to like have gripes about it now, I think. But I do recognise there's sort of there's a point there, 100%. I get the romanticism around the Lions, especially. But yeah, I think it's just too far gone now.
Well, I mean, would it be that difficult? I mean, you're only saying it's residency internationals, as in you're not handpicking, you know. So I think it's probably more the point that there are more New Zealanders than there are Welshmen, for instance, who are going down under to go and play. And, you know, potentially you'd have 5 of the 15 are not British playing in the opening match of the British and Irish Lions against Australia. Look, I'm not sorry. I'm not either way.
No, I'm with you. But I think because you've let people do it for their country, you can't then change the rules for the British and Irish Lions. That's the problem. So if you're going to change it, you need to change it at international level. And listen, it's nothing against the players. I'm all for it. Like that's the rules. But like, you know, loophole in the system, chase after it. Josh Mackay, for example, he's not far off becoming eligible to play for Scotland. I think Joshy played under 20s for the All Blacks, but he will play for Scotland, I believe. And I love that because he's like a complete legend. I think he'll be amazing for Scotland. Scotland need players like that. But also, there's a case where we'll stop doing it then. Just say, or make it even longer. Make it 10 years. You know, make it something stupid that you've got to have lived in the country for 10 years. And so then there's a case of, well, they weren't born here. They were brought over here, and they at 10 years old, you know, by the time they're 20, they could play for that country. Would that work?
Well, but exactly. Why wouldn't the Lions could kind of do any of that? I mean, you look at anything like Wales putting a certain number of caps if you go abroad, or England saying you can't even play for England if you go abroad. They're just rules that are, you know, there's nothing stopping the British and Irish Lions just being like, well, we can only pick non-residency players.
No, I disagree with that, though. I genuinely disagree with that because I think because they've done it for their country, you can't then do it for the British and Irish Lions.
But it's a completely separate entity in a way, isn't it? It's nothing to do. It's just 4 home nations are brought together. That's been the history of it, going across on a boat to, you know, however many years ago to go across and play these long tours. And it's bringing together the best of
but the way into it is Ireland. I suppose, because you're saying you don't actually have to play for your country to be a British and Irish Lion, do you?
No,
you have to play. You don't have to have played international rugby.
Will Greenwood was, we'll remember in '97, hadn't even played for.
That's a very good point. I was in my brain there. I'm thinking your pathway into the British Irish Lions is to have played for your country, which, you've nailed on the head. I agree now. That you've changed my mind because. Do you know what I mean, mate? I thought you had to play for your country to get into the British and Irish Lions for some reason in my brain, but you don't. So, Mark, I think you might have, you've done a good job there. Yeah, okay, Max. So I sort of agree with that. What do you think, Max?
I don't know. I'm torn on it.
What's your Mark? Genuinely, what's your thoughts? I think you're with it. I think you think you have to be British or Irish.
It sounds, and not because, you know, it's nothing to do with the people. I just feel like it's the best of Britain and Ireland, and that's how it's always felt like that. You remember that feeling when you're watching the the Lions in '97, and I was like, it absolutely was like the greatest. It's the greatest documentary, Living Lions, in my mind that I'd ever watched at the time, and even to this day, it stands up. I don't know. I mean, it's just one of those things.
I think I'm with you.
Maybe it should just be like, like that unspoken rule that people who pick it just pick it with the most holy.
Yeah, but then
then it becomes too.
Then it could be really obvious.
Yeah, I guess so.
So you'd have to make a rule. But I think I'm with you. And again, Duhan, Piers Schoeman, like, great for them. But I think I'm with you. I think
New Zealand, how many foreigners can you say played for the All Blacks? I can only think of Greg Rawlinson. He was South African. And then if you look at the Springboks,
no, have I just got
Mark Tillea? Yeah, but Mark Tillea's got some interesting heritage, but he's
South African, is he?
I guess you could say New Zealand have been poaching like the Pacific Islands for eons. But South Africa, for example, they're very, very, very distinctive about how exclusively it has to be.
Yeah,
South African.
That is, by the way, that is going to get the comments going because the Bokkers that are listening,
pride, isn't it? Like,
those buses play for us, man.
But then they do, and the Boks, then they look at it, and the fans are like, "Well, they weren't good enough to play for us," because that's the weird bit, right? When you had Dewey lining up against the Springboks in the last line.
Do you know what? After this whole debate, this discussion, this little AA meeting that we've just had, thank you guys. I've come to the decision that I think it should just be born blood, and there shouldn't be a residency case allowed. I think I'm with that. That's where my head's at.
Let us know what you think, guys. What
non-residency,
whichever country you are, let us know. Do you think it should be, not
non-residency only? Here. Globalism beckons, though, gentlemen. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, no. That's been good for me. I feel good after that debate.
You worked your way through it. Right. Well, let's now move on to the URC and some result. We're going to have to start with your Glasgow side basically putting themselves in a bit of a pickle for a home semi-final if they get that far, right?
Bum bum bum. Boy, we've said it. We've said it all season. Benetton.
We did.
Are not a team to go and mess with. Their home record is outstanding, but I don't believe it's a 33-7 drumming. Like, the boys were way off. And you look at the Glasgow squad that went over there, it's not a bad team. Like, they started getting boys back. We talk about them trying to find momentum towards the end of the season, going into the business end. Scott Cummins is back in there. Hugh Jones is back in there. Tom Jordan starting at 10. Still got Stafford McDowell at 12. Like, they had a good team. They just were way off the races. And Benetton, give them their due, were pretty good. So, yeah, it was not looking good because they struggled against Zebra a few weeks back. They obviously then lost the Bulls in the URC, who were looking pretty tasty. But that's it. They're knocked off of second. It's been Leinster and Glasgow, 1 and 2 all season. They've dropped to third, and there's a very good chance because they play Leinster this week, Glasgow, and the Bulls have got a Welsh team, I think.
Dragons. Yeah, they got Dragons at home. I mean, they're not going to.
So the Bulls are getting 5. And
but if you'd won, there's a shame of it. Is if even without a bonus point, you pick up 4 points, you are in control. You've got a better points difference. You've got more bonus points. You would have been in control of a home semi-final.
Yes, hold on. Let's have a little look at that. Like, let's have a look. Jacob Umanga, Brexon Cello in the centres. Like, Tower on the bench. They're bringing Negri off the bench. They've got a fucking serious squad. They're spending a load of money, and I genuinely believe they pushed in the Champs Cup. Was it Champs Cup this year? They got a little bit further than normal. They're not a team that you just go, oh, we're just going to go and roll them. So I agree with you. Glasgow should have got something out of it, but they didn't get anything. And now they've put themselves under a bit of pressure. But fair play to Benetton. So, yeah, it's a bit squeaky, boys. That's it. Could drop down to 4th. And this is the other interesting thing because you can start to look at the table at the end and go, well, if we lose, we get them in the quarter. Or if we win, we get them in the quarter. So
who do you want in the quarter? Who do you want in the quarter? Genuinely, right now, looking at where the positioning of all the teams are, who do you want?
Well, it's still so difficult because Edinburgh is still in contention, Cardiff is still in contention, Munster just in 8th. For a quarter-final at home, you probably want maybe I want to say Stormers, but they were ridiculous at the weekend. But then they're going to have to travel over to Glasgow. It's not an easy one. We did them in the quarters last year. Scarlets wouldn't be too bad. Edinburgh would be quite nice.
Edinburgh aren't getting. Do you think Edinburgh? No, they can't get.
Yeah, no. Edinburgh can make it. Edinburgh can make it. They just need to win this weekend against Ulster at home. And if they beat Ulster, I'm pretty sure they're in because the Welsh team's going away to South Africans. So, listen, Glasgow play Leinster this week. Leinster just blew Zebre apart. Jordie Barrett, mate, fucking. You just look at
I just read all the comments afterwards, though. It's just like, oh, it's so horrible. The hangover's real, lads.
And did you see the? Let's not start him. Don't start him in the semi-final, but start him.
Yeah.
Well, guys, it was just quickly because I was fascinated with the conversation. I never actually found out what was. Come on, do we know any more why he wasn't started in that semi-final? Because you made the point, Max, that someone had said, "Well, I can't start him, can I?"
Or then Leo said, "I can start him if I wanted to start him," didn't he?
Yeah, without being asked. I could do it if I want.
Yeah, that's
the old Freudian slip. Yeah.
Didn't fancy her anyway.
Like if you're Jordie Barrett, you're going, "Come over here to play, boys. I'm pretty fucking handy. I've shown it against Glasgow when we hosed them 52-0, whatever it was. And then they go, you're going to be on the bench in the semi-final, really big game. And then we'll start you against Zebre. You're going, you fucking assholes. Yeah, you'd be a bit pissed off. But anyway, so Glasgow play Leinster. We'll see what happens. They've got a home quarter. We saw how they did it last year. They had to go the hard route last year. They went away in a semi-final to Munster, which isn't an easy place. I just hope that they get a few more players back, like a Dempsey, maybe Sione Tuipulotu. But again, it all comes down to, do you push Sione back to play the end of the season after that? You know what I mean?
He needs fitness. He needs games, doesn't he?
You'd want him to have a cut, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah. But not against Leinster this week. I'd just say you could just take it easy. Don't play against Leinster. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you, Max? Because again,
I feel like he'd love that.
They need a little bit of inspiration somewhere, Glasgow, because
you get a run going
into the end of the season. So, yeah.
Did we see the words, the very kind words from none other than global superstar and general world icon that we've enjoyed having on our show before, Siya Kolisi on Jac Morgan? Did you see that? It's very nice. He said, on behalf of the team, we want to say congratulations to Jac. He's a true warrior. He really deserves a spot with the Lions. He was talking about that. Last couple of years, Wales have been going through as a nation. He's always stood out. He's always fought. He's a hard player, and it's hard to get him off the ball. Pretty nice.
What a lovely thing to say.
All right, great. I'll move on. So in other results for you, Ryan, anything else stand out apart from obviously Leinster drilling Zebre? The Bulls looking like they've confirmed more or less a semi-final home position. Edinburgh getting a good result in Connaught. I'm sorry.
Well, that's it. So they needed to have 2 wins. So Edinburgh get that win. They got a bonus point as well. So they give themselves a chance. Scarlets, who everyone wrote off against the Lions, we didn't think they would go down there. They were pretty much written off, but they beat the Lions and pretty comfortably. A fucking Plumtree. By the way, have you seen how he's going at the moment? Old Tame Plumtree, killing it, tearing up trees. So that was actually good to see, because that puts them up to 6th, boys, which no one expected. So it puts a bit more pressure on a few others. Cardiff are still in with a chance. Like the race for 8, as they call it, is on this weekend. Actually, sorry, there is one other game I want to talk about. The Stormers, although it was a pretty easy game. Sacha Feinberg-Mngomezulu, oh my, he was pulling the strings, doing a bit of everything in there as well. So for our South African contingent that watch, they'll be loving that. But yes, it's heating up. I'm just having a little flick around here at the matches this weekend. You Stormers versus Cardiff is a big one. It actually has a big effect on what will happen. And Cardiff, my dark horses need to do something over there, but Stormers still in the race. Edinburgh have to beat Ulster. I think Ulster are out, so they have nothing to play for. Munster, Benetton, again, massive game. And Bulls, Dragons will blow them away. So, yeah, there's a few games. There's a few games there that you look at. One thing, and I don't know, I haven't been side, but there's a few Munster players that were said farewell to at the weekend. Peter O'Mahony, who I've been toe-to-toe with, but happy enough to say proper legend of Munster rugby and Irish rugby, isn't he? So they said farewell to him at Thomond Park. Yeah, it was a good weekend of URC rugby, but all to play for in the last round. I'm over at Leinster. I just hope it's not a rerun of what happened in the quarterfinals, boys. Jesus. I don't think it will be, will it? I don't know.
You're spending a lot of time over in... you live basically in Dublin now, don't you?
But I drink more Guinness than I do fucking water. It's the mother's milk will get you. Honestly, Max. Also, Friday, little shout out to Medway Rugby Club down in Rochester. I went and did a after dinner speech down there on Friday night. Well, when I say after dinner speech, I mean I attended a stag do at Medway Rugby Club because I turned up and they were like, "Oh, we had." I said, "Oh, so who have you had before?" And it's a brilliant rugby club, like one of the biggest in the country for like the youths, and they've just outdone Farnham Rugby Club in the women's section as well. Brilliant rugby club, some fucking legends down there. But I've turned up and they've gone, "Oh, we had Andy Good on last year," and I was like, "All right, Goody's pretty good." They went, "Yeah, he was fucking boring. He didn't drink." So then I'm like, "All right." Looks like I'm going to have to drink then.
Oh, my superpower being called upon again.
I hate it.
Then they've gone, and the year before that was Powley, Andy Powell. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, and they were like, he was a legend. Do you reckon you can live up to it? I've got a text from Powley in the morning going, enjoy Medway butt. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, why does Powley know I'm going to Medway Rugby Club on a Friday? He's gone, watch out for the fucking attic. And I'm like, what's the attic? What? I'm like, this must be a nightclub in fucking Medway. It's not. It's a cupboard in the roof that after you finish, they put you in the cupboard and you have to dive out of this cupboard, which is about 10, 12 foot up in the air. And they all put their hands together and catch you as you dive out the cupboard. like a trust exercise. Obviously,
that's class.
And these blokes that are like head to toe full of Guinness, I'm like,
yeah.
I've put all my trust in them, and I'm like, I'm not even arms out in front of me. I'm arms behind me, like Superman out, fully trusting that these
penguin,
random blokes are going to catch me. So yeah, Medway Rugby Club, outstanding place. Thanks for having me.
They sound very hospitable. Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm going to recommend you, Max, to go there next year because I think it would be fucking beautiful. I'm gonna message the bloke Bill and say, but yeah, like proper legend and a proper old rugby club. Do you know what I mean? With like all the nicknames are getting thrown about and stuff. It was oh mate, I loved it. I felt like I've done a lot of like charity ones and like ones, but this was a proper rugby club do. It was so
purist.
Brilliant. Well, look, that is sadly all the time we've got left for this week. A huge thank you to Ryan and Max as always, and a huge thank you to you all for listening and watching. Jump into the comments. Let us know what you think. And we will see you all next week.
More or nothing.